not a one-round game, I don't believe, is it?
Okay, well, you know, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. I'm quite happy to be wrong, you know me.
More battlefield action. I mean, you'd be well happy.
I am. I am. I am. I'm so used to being wrong, it doesn't actually bother me anymore. So, feedback in Twitch chat is very welcome. Are you guys enjoying the free cam that I'm doing for you guys? I tend to find, especially with Conquest, it gives you a better overview of the action and the relative context under which certain actions are taken. And I think I've managed to get some very nice shots of some of the explosions and some of the battles that have been going on. So, we'll just wait and see as a TV missile was fired right at the start as the Chinese helicopter from WTD. No, they don't think they've started, as it looks like TBA only have 7 people.
The curse of a restart in Battlefield.
Indeed.
When you have this many players in a server, the likelihood of someone dropping on a restart is actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, you're just going to have to bear with us, guys.
Yeah, stick with us, guys. We're still going to be bringing you all the Battlefield action for this evening, courtesy of the ESL, in this Conquest 8v8 domination. Sorry, Domination, Conquest Cup, sorry.
Domination, I wish it was Domination.
Domination, Conquest, diddly-do, you know, Obliteration. We're going to play all of them together at the same time. So you've basically got a Conquest, but you can only Conquest if you have the bomb, and you've got very fast respawn. So that's what we're going to do. It's basically now known as, obviously, it's Conquest, Obliteration, Domination. So all rhyming stuff.
You've given me a headache. I don't know what my brain thinks anymore, strategy-wise. It's all broken. Alright then, here we go. Are we going to see a difference? Are they going to bring out the air units and use them for just fast respawns? It's alright, I'm expecting a restart every time, don't worry.
Okay.
In CS, you got, how many restarts before live?
Oh, it's like 3 or 4 restarts.
Or 8, depending on how much they want to annoy
I
you.
think I am dropping a few frames, guys. I do apologise. I don't really have a lot of control.
So, last game, USA managed to get A, B, and C. So, is this a US favoured map, or was it just a very good strategy out of wartime gaming? Wartime gaming? Wartime dignity, Jesus.
Dear oh dear.
I'm making up my own teams as I go along.
You are indeed.
Why is the jet flying around before the countdown's even... Is that meant to happen? I don't know.
It's difficult to say, but let's follow him down the high street.
But as I said, it obviously seems that Matt is the superior air pilot, and it doesn't look like, to be confirmed, even want to bother tackling them. So they're just going to abandon their jet over sea and capture it straight away, which is a strategy I said would probably be used in this matchup.
Indeed, and you can see that the China jet still remains airborne, as you can see. We'll follow him, and it looks like he's actually used that to do a push with infantry onto that point. So we're now watching Matt.
Their helicopter pilot, their plane pilot dropping out to capture sea, it was not enough to stop wartime as they dropped into sea and just cleaned up quite quickly. They drove in the hard way with jeeps, but that was all they needed to do. They stopped the flag from going over to the US side, and they've got the bleed.
It's looking that way, and we're looking at DJ Niner at the moment. Now, he's in the helicopter doing his thing. A correction, he's not in the helicopter anymore, as he broke it.
Was he being shot at,
He got shot down very quickly. I think that may have been IGLA or possibly a Stinger that took him out of the action, but he didn't last very long. And here we go, guy. Well, the other guy is beeping his horn as he drives past him, confusing his teammate. So now you can see Akosh out there doing his thing, looking to try and put some defences at choke points where he thinks vehicles are going to be moving through. So now we're watching as the Chinese team moving in against the enemy. And you can see them using ATVs to move quick from point to point to try and get the bleed in their favour as quickly as possible. So we're following an ATV as he's making his way over towards the embassy. And you can see, there we go, nice slide in there. And oh dear. Bad driving on the ATV, rolled it completely. Oh, so close to being a road kill there. Oh, that was so close on Rababo to actually getting road killed by the ATV.
Situation here. It is a 2-on-1 at E. But that does seem to be, it seems to be a magnet now for all of the wartime players as the hills start
heavens.
coming towards E. You're just looking at it on the mini-map, there is a swarm of players coming into this flag. But maybe even Rambert doesn't even need it, as he seems to be clearing them all up all by himself.
Looks that way at the moment, as he's obviously in there at the embassy, finding out if the ambassador wants more Ferrero Rocher, and we shall find out as he runs through the metal detectors, moves out of the E point, and will be ready to move on to the next attack section. And we shall find out where that's going to be.
They're struggling here. They have no... They've just had to get in the jet and fly it to D and jump in. So they've just had a mass spawn over on D. But up until that point, they have been getting shut down on every flag they've attacked at. They really should have been able to make headway at A and B and A, but unfortunately, they had to get the risky option and fly into D, where the infantry are just repositioning from E, so that wasn't far for them to go, and they've just got shut down once again. And Wartime here are just taking a commanding lead, already with 46 points ahead in the previous round, and this is just looking like they're getting in driving like pole position right now. It's really difficult to be confirmed to even get back into this.
You can see here, fire coming in from one of the helicopters up above, trying to suppress those guys as they're pushing in towards the hospital. So you can see it's pretty hard work at the moment as far as the Chinese side are concerned. And you can see the C point being held by the US team, but the B point and the A point is currently being contested, as it looks like the US attack chopper is doing its best to try and suppress any attempts to hold that point. He knows he's not going to be able to stop them, and you can see that point now being captured by Akash, moving in to capture that bus station. And now they're in a little bit better situation, but let's see as we move on towards the C point, and let's have a general look. So you can see the C point there in the process of being looked after. There's Amababo in with a little bit of tank fire. Dignity Ben, you see him trying to capture one of the other points as well, and you can see here these mines being put down to protect any kind of movement onto the C point, and continuing the spam into the US capture points, and it's not looking good for them at the moment here, Dogbert. And A is also being contested as well.
A has one man contesting it, but it looks like to be confirmed to put a few infantry down into C to try and take out the tank it's holding C, but I don't think it's going to be enough, especially as the chopper's going to come in now and quickly clear up Quickyo, and Quickyo goes down. And that ticket bleed is now becoming such an issue, but to be confirmed, really need to do something absolutely spectacular here, or they're going to find themselves out of this test cup.
Yes, indeed, it's looking that way at the moment as we're on board with DJ Niner and David, and you can see them engaging. Let's see if we can find out. As you can see, there we go, a bit of spam coming onto that US tank. Nice rocket spam onto it, and now this is not looking good for these guys as they're now moving on to that point. As we take a look at C, being very well held by the Chinese team, and you can see him engaging as many people. There's Rababo trying to hold that C point against attempted pushes by the US team. You can see there Nork. Oh, Nork taken down. Nasty tank shot there coming in from Rababo, who's doing a fantastic job as the tank and doing a very good job of essentially keeping that flag point well defended, as you can see. Now, you can see also, as we move over towards the embassy, now being contested as the helicopter moves in to spam its missiles into that point, and you can see now the point in the process of being recaptured and back into the hands of the Chinese team. And we should be on to the next point as the ATV from the US team decides to cheese it out of the area and maybe make a second push in towards the E point. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Let's see what's going on. So as you can see here, E point, D point, C point, A point. These are all points that are currently being held by the US team, and there's only 13 tickets left for the the Chinese team. There's only 13 tickets left for the US team. Now it's down to 9. The bleed is really bad, and I don't think there's any way they're going to come back from this, Dogbert.
I think this is pretty much the end of the game. Wartime are just all over to be confirmed, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 220 ticket win on the China side of Dawnbreak.
Excellent, and I'm getting frame drops. Wonderful.
So 266 point win for Wartime Dignity. And just a dominating display.
Indeed it was, yes. Indeed it was. A very dominant display. And they obviously move on to the next round. And we shall see which game we shall be bringing you next time. And we'll just wait to get confirmation on that. Until then, hurrah and huzzah, it's more music while we sort out the next match. So, stay tuned, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be bringing you lots more Conquest for the rest of the evening. We'll be right back. Well, the excellent and joyful news is that we shall be casting Exertus. Yes, we now know how to pronounce it. Exertus versus Brutality on Dawnbreaker. So, looking forward to this. This should be fun. And Exertus, obviously a team of which we are familiar. And we shall be finding out how they get on. As Kotsko crashes into the building. So, let's see how those work out, and most importantly, let's just make sure we're good to go. Yep, I think we are. So we're watching Nice to Meet You 01 at the moment, and we shall now be getting into the game, as you can see. And as you can see, plenty... What's that beeping? Where's that beeping coming from?
A phantom beacon causing you some issues, yeah?
It is, yes. Can't be the bus reversing. But as I move away... Oh! There's a Chinese ATV here. Oh, and now Can you come here and break the window, please, so I can get out?
Best spec mode in the universe.
Yeah, I think some words with Mr. Matros are required. Either that or to give us a knife for spectator mode so we can break the glass.
That could be used to... That could be abused to horrific effect.
It could indeed, yes.
Though I won't lie, there's been many times I've been spectating some people and thought, yeah, I wish I could just knife them right now. They wouldn't see it coming, obviously.
No, of course
but,
not. No. It would be a tad funny as well. Where's that jet? Ah, there it is. Hello. Listen to that lovely noise. It's a stealth jet flying around.
I know a lot of people are very upset with the stealth jet. They don't really think it's very powerful enough. They don't really see, to be honest, what's the big point of it. I think it's probably something we'll see a buff probably in the near future.
Oh really? Oh, that's interesting. Ah, okay. Well, I can notice also... Oh! What the hell is going on this tank? Look at this, look at the gunner on top of the tank. He's going slightly spastic. Look at him, he's like he's having a seizure.
Oh dear. You've got talent at finding things like that, I guess.
Yeah, I have. Oh, that's good. Reactive armour, when you get in it, it actually puts an additional cage around your tank on the actual graphical model.
Yeah, they've had that in BF3 actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually.
It's really cool. I never actually got that unlocked. I stopped vehicle whoring around about the time that I thought, yeah, I think I'll stick to what my roots are, which is infantry play.
So
I was one of those people everyone moaned about because I was always using the M16.
Oh, it turns out our gunner has decided to get out. I think that may have been King Revo. He's now got out and had a seizure and killed himself completely. So, let's see how that is. And so, we're obviously seeing the other guys, Brutality guys, get on the server. We got Bigglesworth, Phantom, Nice to Meet You, Kotko, Dicko D-Day, DK I should say, and Nightwane in here as well. So, should be interesting. Nice to Meet You looks like he's picked up the M136. And shoots Bigglesworth in the nose with it. No, the health pack's not going to really help the tank. I'm just waiting for him to shoot. Oh, nice parking, Mr. Biggles. Look at that. Fantastic parking here by Bigglesworth. Quality driving skills.
Oh my god! I just went to is it Rich and Sharp's vehicle? See if you can find his tank and look at his emblem that he's got on the back of it.
Who's this?
Is it Rich and Sharp's?
Oh, Rich and Sharps, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on him and go to the back of his tank.
EA fail.
I seen it and I was just like, did I really just see that?
But not only that, it was a hangman. It was a hangman as well, which is just...
That's a very nasty thing to say.
Oh dear. Let's see if he stays still long enough, we'll be able to actually get a proper look at it. Poor old Cotco just got taken down.
How'd he die? Did he just die?
I don't
from
know.
a fall?
I don't know.
He died from a fall. He jumped over and all of a sudden he was dead.
There we go.
I'm just waiting for Brutality Corps to get into the server. And then we'll find ourselves with the last game of today. The rest of the matches will be played on Tuesday.
Excellent.
So far, your little taster of Conquest, maybe not the best map. I think Dawnbreaker's maybe a little bit too big. But what's your feelings of it compared to, say, Domination, which we covered quite a lot recently?
Well, Domination, because of its, quicker cap points and sort of more closed-in, smaller sort of canvas in which it's painted. Oh, big explosion. I tend to find, obviously, Conquest is a lot more relaxed, if you know what I'm saying. It seems to be slower in its general pace, followed by moments of very quick action around a key capture point. It's definitely a pleasant change. I actually quite like I like it an awful lot because it means I can play with the free cam, which I'm a huge fan of, and I like it. It's something different, but it's good fun. And it's good to watch, as we looks like we've got ATV races going on here between the Chinese and the Americans. Correction, until he got shot in the face by Rickson Sharp in his lovely pattern Tiger tank. And his teammate shooting his butt. Lovely. So I'm liking it a lot.
I got my first crash as well. I got my first crash in Spectator.
Oh wow.
I'm coming back, don't worry guys.
So we're looking at King Revo at the moment. He's in there in the tank. Oh, avoiding an RPG. Oh, brutality. Very brutal stuff going on here as King Revo currently doing his tanky goodness. What the hell is going on with Twitch chat today? It's even more unreliable than usual.
What's happening with that?
Oh, Twitch chat, it just sometimes just decides not to update. And you have to bring it to pop-out version and then normal version. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, for those of you who don't realise... Oh, nice! Revo doing a little bit of a tree assassination here as he seems to be humping the tree. And he's going to move out and... oh, rockets! Another tree died. God, the amount of trees that get taken out in this game. And I thought that... Oh, another missile missing him only by seconds. And Revo currently in the process of doing a little bit of redecoration at the A point, courtesy of his tank. So for those of you who don't realise how this works, this stuff here, metal, essentially just these metal slices, they're there just wide enough to stop an RPG, but just small enough to stop an RPG hitting, but they're just wide enough to stop the head of the RPG from detonating on the side. So essentially it stops the RPG from hitting the armour. So that's essentially how that works. Oh dear, Bigglesworth's being teabagged. And his teammate then... and then Barthez... Barthez decided to teabag Bigglesworth and then got run over by King Revo in the tank for his trouble. So karma's a bitch. What can we say? Oh, helicopter! As down goes King Revo. As the American helicopter is now on station somewhere. Where the bloody hell is it? Where is he? God damn it. Okay, let's go up. Ah, there he is. And the server has been restarted, so... It will be Exertus versus Brutality Core on Dawnbreaker Conquest. Now, this should be interesting to see how the two teams decide to run it compared to the previous two teams that we've seen. Looking at it from the point of view of strategy, obviously you're going to have those two gimmies. The battle will be over the sea flag as we saw in the previous Conquest game, and everything will essentially be proceeding in the same sort of fashion, wouldn't you say, Mr. Dogbert? Apparently not. So, Mr. Dogbert obviously may have crashed out completely, so I shall continue regardless. And you can see here, there's Owns #1. Oh, you're back. Oh.
We're about to go right live, I'm sure.
It's looking that way, yes.
I had a panic moment where I thought my game had crashed again.
Oh no, that would be unfortunate. Okay, so the off. This is going to be interesting to see how this turns out, and how the Chinese team, which is, oh, it looks like Brutality Core are down one man.
Are indeed, unfortunately. So I think we'll probably have to be waiting for another restart.
It's a distinct possibility. In the meantime, we shall fly in with Mr. Bigglesworth, currently flying around in his 20mm gun, looping and breathing like a dirty Mac person. Oh, on the end of the phone. So that'll be the building, that'll be the floor. Oh god. So Bigglesworth having fun. Let's go outside, find out what's going on. There of course is Monsieur Bigglesworth. And do you think we're underway now? No. Oh, they've got the guy back in, so we're due another restart, I would say. And who's this? It is Kotko. It was Kotko. Oh dear. So, let's see. As the D point is currently uncapped. And, oh, look at this. AA vehicle. AA vehicle courtesy of Nice to Meet You. Taking down the enemy chopper very effectively. That was lovely stuff to see. And it looks like, yeah, he's got the shark. He's got the shark skin camouflage, which is a fantastic thing. Definitely something that I want to get. Looks very sexy indeed. And Nice to Meet You taking fire from multiple directions. Decided to get out and shoot his enemy in the face, which he has now done. Is he going to repair? He is. He's taking his tank to the shop. A little bit of a spot weld. And Nice to Meet You is ready to go. So
we should be seeing a restart very soon, and we'll probably be getting the end of our matches today underway.
Indeed, yes. Nice to Meet You currently. Why did he turn bright green for some reason?
Yeah, I'm getting that as well. I think it's something to do with spectator. I don't know exactly what it is, but some people do seem to go funky colours.
Oh, look at this. Nice to meet you getting out. Nice to meet you getting out of his vehicle, jumping onto the top of the tank, and then repair tooling the tank down into destruction, resulting in an eventual death, but also killing his enemy. So that was comedy gold just there.
And there we go. Hopefully there won't be another crash of one of the players, but I think we might be going live. I'm going to be interested to see if everyone does exactly what we seen in the last game, which is pretty much a all out onto the sea point, as it is the floating point out there in no man's land.
Indeed, yeah.
And if both teams will keep a hold of their jets or just sacrifice them for the goal of getting first to sea flag.
Indeed, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the teams decide to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to here and find out what the teams are going to do. So we're obviously out in the combat area, of course. Just see, all I wanted to do is go like another 100 feet further back so I could see both the teams from their starting position, but no. I'm out of bounds. Ugh. So, let's just see. Jet's already in the air. That's interesting. The American jet is already in the air before the countdown's actually started. Or finished. Look at that. He's already over top of... Whoa. You see that? Oh! Did you see that?
Yeah, that can't be right. I don't know if we're waiting for another restart because a lot of players don't seem to be spawning in. Yeah, we're definitely waiting for another restart. We were very premature in our expectations there.
Indeed,
so,
but it was rather strange to see that the American jet suicided. And we'll watch Kotko as he's making use of the flaming building to hide. Now, that's interesting. I wonder if helicopters, if they're making use of the flaming building, whether or not those flames will distract any heat-seeking missiles coming in their direction. I wonder if that's a possibility. Be interested
it's
to see.
definitely maybe possible. I don't know. I mean, this is a learning experience for me. I'm aware of these helicopters and planes, but as a foot soldier myself, I generally keep as far away from incurring their wrath or even looking at them.
Well, that's fair. That's fair as we continue to follow the Chinese jet loopy-de-looping and doing its thing. But yeah, pretty much nothing's happening at the moment. So we've had confirmation from the admin that nothing is live. As we're looking at, obviously, is that the AA vehicle yet? So there's the AA vehicle. Currently looking very nice.
Which
there's
I think
Bartes.
is banned in this matchup, actually. I don't think you're allowed to use it.
Oh! So as you can see now, we'll follow in the Chinese jet as he's flying between the buildings.
Show off. You bad.
Oh dear. Never mind.
Flyer, bad flyer. I fly better than that.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
I'll show you how good I am.
Okay, all right. Well, what we'll do is we'll do that one evening. We'll get on the server and you can show everybody, and I'll record it for the channel, and you can show everyone your uber flying skills on Battlefield.
I want to.
Oh, it's an ATV. Look, ATV crash. Bigglesworth just got barged to one side. Oh no, it's an ATV fight. It's an ATV fight. Look at this. Oh my God, what's going on? What's wrong with these people? They're all clinically insane. And there's Bigglesworth on another ATV. Look at this! Oh my goodness, this is mad.
Well, I don't know. I think I enjoyed the disco balls a lot more.
The disco balls were pretty entertaining, I have to say. This is like donut fights.
That lion statue's just kind of looking at them like, what are you doing?
What is wrong with you people? Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So, I have no idea what's going on here.
I don't either, but this is actually quite good fun, as it looks like Bigglesworth has got stuck with his ATV. Nice parking by the Biggles. And it looks like he's mad now, so he gets out his rocket launcher. He's lost his toy now. Poor Biggles. Oh no! Oh, he's recovered! Mad recovery skills by Mr. Bigglesworth. Oh God, they brought a Chinese tank with them.
Yeah, try and do tricks with that.
Yeah. Oh no, hang on. ATV versus tank. How's this going to work out? Not so good. Ricks and Sharps not playing fair. Bringing a tank to an ATV fight. That's hardly fair, is it? Oh dear. However, there might be an ATV sneaking in behind him. Oh, look at that. Oh, fantastic. Oh, a leopard spotted flipping attack chopper. This is lovely. So, yeah, at this current moment, things are not happening. As you we're looking... That looks very Luftwaffe.
Yeah.
A very Luftwaffe
man,
style.
Look at the jet. Look at the American jet using its VTOL. Oh man, that is so cool. That was cool. He got shot down. Oh my god, who killed that? I need to see the offending party.
Oh.
It was Movan. Or Mavan.
Have him killed immediately.
Yeah, seriously, that was really cool. Why did you stop me from seeing something really cool?
It was a threat to him, so he had to do something about it.
Man, makes me cry.
Oh, Dogbert is sad. Sad Dogbert is sad.
Sad Dogbert.
And it looks
Don't
like
take away my toys.
the two helicopters having a little bit of a battle. Let's see how that's going. The Chinese helicopter not doing very well out of it. Down it goes.
Almost crashed into some guy's front room.
That's a bit unfortunate, isn't it?
Here comes the plane.
So it does.
There's something about planes in this game that just make me want to always be specking them.
It is fantastic.
That's Ozzy from Wilda. Obviously, that's one of the very, very old school BF teams.
Wow.
Back in the day. He's flying the J20.
Very nice indeed.
See what it looks in first person. You should see me flying in first person. It's basically me shaking all over the place, unsure what the hell I'm trying to do. Never quite having enough time to actually strafe anyone and get a kill, but still trying, then panicking again, then crashing into someone.
I see. This is a good sign for the forthcoming battle. Oh, rejection! Premature ejection from the Chinese pilot. Looks like he's decided to swap his plane for an ATV. That's exactly what he's done. And let's follow him as he crashes into his own anti-air vehicle. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. So he's doing his best GTA, moving into the E point and crashing through the window. No, you're not going to get... Oh, he's trying to... Yeah, he made it. This is what happens when you give Battlefield players time to rest between rounds, or the inevitable before the round actually begins. Look at this. This is so daft. Oh look, even the door's open for him. But they didn't open for us, and we can't follow him. God damn it.
No, we can't at all. We may have to put that first person mode on. That's the only way you're going to do it.
Yeah, buggers.
Oh, he's doing the VTOL jet again. Yeah! Don't shoot him.
So that'd be
He's
Mr.
just trying
Nightwing.
to be your friend. Oh man, that model is so cool.
There it is. Mr. Nightwing. That does look lovely, doesn't
Man, look at that with the hatch open.
it? Yeah.
Oh my god, that looks so cool. Shame it's totally not that useful in Battlefield to do this, but yeah.
Well, the thing is, I know for a fact that the English real armed forces bought the F-35s and then found out they were going to be too heavy to go on the carrier, which was kind of slightly funny. But you know, this is English planning ahead.
I think he's just doing this to show off now.
He is rather.
I won't even lie. I didn't even know you could
See
do
that?
that.
See what you did. You see what you did there. You jinxed him. You jinxed him while he was doing his thing.
He's fine. He's in a very expensive military aeroplane. He only slightly grazed a building.
Oh dear.
And don't think we're getting a restart because there's still 2 men down on the
Oh
brutality
God.
cause squad.
What is taking them so long? Oh well. At least we're getting some entertaining coverage.
Maybe I should just join in the server and just show them how it's done.
What, you mean crashing into the ground?
No, that never happens.
Of course not. It's because you never go up in the air, so you can't crash down to the ground.
Well, I'm going to write down my little book, and one day you shall pay.
The little black book, the Black Dogbert book, is what that is. And we're in with Phantom in a jet. Oh, this is never going to be a good thing. So let's see what young Phantom is up to. Flying over. And splat goes Phantom. Congratulations, you met expectations.
He qualified from the Dogbert Flying School.
Indeed he did, yes.
A plus.
A plus with Pancake Special. So we're watching Kotko at the moment. Correction, we were watching him. Pile of smoke. And a bad landing. And an even worse takeoff. Come on, Kotko, you can get out of there. He's getting caught up in the superstructure. Is he about to come a cropper? No, he's managed to recover it. But there's the enemy chopper. Now crashing into the ground. And Kotko is managing to get away with that very close moment. Oh, God. So, still waiting. It looks like they're all in the server now.
She rejoining after a little bit of a crash out.
Oh dear.
It can't be helped, can't be helped.
Indeed. Kotko, unfortunately, scratching his lovely helicopter quite seriously. And the round has been restarted. And ladies and gentlemen, after much prevaricating around the bush and much air filling.
Prevaricating?
Prevaricating.
I've never heard that word before. What's that even mean?
I've no idea. Anyway.
You're just making words up now, aren't you?
Yeah, why not?
You so are. I've never heard that ever. I'm well educated. Well, I say well educated.
How can you be well educated? You come from the north.
If you inhale burnt books, doesn't that mean you take in their essence and understanding? No?
And that was me thinking you were raised on a diet of pies and whippets, but never mind. Anyway.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong then.
Wow. Never
warmed me up though.
Yeah, I can say it did actually. And look, it looks like the Chinese jet is up in the air.
Again?
Yep. Don't know what's going on with that.
Oh, both of them are. So, there we go.
Here we go, jet on jet. And I think it's fair to say that, ladies and gentlemen, finally, after match faffing, we are now live. So let's see what happens as the two jets may begin a tussle very soon. And the points in the process of being captured.
Instantly off the bat, there's a big difference between the two teams here, as Exertus are not using two people in their chopper. They are using two people in their chopper, and they use one of them straight away to drop off onto B. Meanwhile, Aussie for Brutality Corps is soloing his chopper.
Okay, so we're now watching Rickson Sharps, who's at the C point with that lovely tank of his, and is waiting for any inevitable push that we're going to see as a few explosions coming in onto him. He's deflecting those. There we go. Tank coming in from, let's see, that's Deco DK. He's having a fight with him, and he unfortunately does not have the reactive armor that is required in order to compete with him on any kind of serious level. But he's under fire from multiple directions. As you can see, Rickson Sharp there, unfortunately, I think running down one of his teammates, now deciding to back off from the C point as a serious amount of pressure was coming in. Oh, that, ladies and gentlemen, looked to be possibly a laser guided missile coming from one of the planes. So the
this is going to give Exertus a C flag, and right now a solo push onto D, which has just been cleared up. But this is going to give Exertus the ticket bleed, and a good start by them as they managed to force away Brutality Corps tanker. And, yeah, taking the critical C point and knocking the bleed onto the Polish team.
Indeed, yes. Now, let's just see what's going on. So you can see A, B and C currently owned by the US. And D and E owned by China. And there's Phantom. And he looks like he's one of the infantrymen who's going to be moving on to the various points. You can see him trying to engage some of the Chinese troops. And you can see him now moving in towards the hospital, stealing the medical supplies and getting ready to try and capture that point. See him getting engaged. There we go. A little bit of fire coming in on Phantom. He's having to take cover. As you can see there, he's having a massive firefight with two guys. He's going to have to chuck himself, but it looks like he's set up, not necessarily as a medic, possibly as an engineer. Oh, there we go. Smart play there. Rickson Sharp gets taken down, but one of the other Chinese, I think it was, yeah, it was Brutality Corps MWN. Whoops-a-daisy. He gets shot from behind. But now you can see the Chinese team, while Phantom went in through the front, you saw that two guys circled round the back and are now pushing on towards that point. But Bartez 3000, or 300 I should say, Bartez 300 got taken down pretty quickly. And now you can see the D point being recaptured in favour of the Chinese team. You can see them in there trying to capture that point. There's E-Man PL and poor old MWN died nearby. But there is a tank pushing that hospital area and also them providing a spawn point for the US team to spawn upon. So, looking interesting thus far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Chadman, it's really interesting. Unfortunately for the Brutality Corps guys, they have been down a man for the last minute. I think he's just got back in the game as Quaker. But anyway, Exertus are really making their presence felt. They won the tank exchange at sea. They managed to push that advantage by putting their tanker into D. This also led into basically an overwhelming attack, which Brutality Corps couldn't really do anything about. This is obviously the worst possible situation you can be in for Brutality Corps, because the ticket bleed has been against them now basically almost from the start of the game. So that ticket bleed now is getting so significant that they are almost half of their tickets down compared to the US side. They're starting to make a play for flags like B and C, which is what they need to do at this point, but they really should have maybe reacted with one guy scouting out to go for an undefended flag, especially when Exertus were throwing down everything they had onto D.
Yeah, it's looking that way at the moment as I'm watching the two jet planes having a tussle in the air. Pretty serious loopy-de-loop and circling, as you can see. Maybe see an Immelman turn in there or something. You never know. You might be lucky. But it looks like the Chinese player is actually getting the better of the American pilot. Now that's Chuddycom who is currently doing that. But no, he then gets shot down, taken down by the enemy helicopter. And that was a pretty important play, as now we're looking the Chinese team pushing in towards the B point. And let's see if we can find out what's going on. So you can see the C point currently being contested, the E point also being contested at the same time. But the bleed is pretty seriously onto Brutality Corps at the moment. Not looking good for them as far as they're concerned. Let's find out, as you can see Quaker moving away from his point, as you can see there. And we're looking at King Revo from Exertus trying to capture that point, making sure he's going to get that point, and looking
King
to see
Revo and Bertus managed to hold on to C point when they were being completely surrounded there by Brutality Corps members. Their tank was tied down at B, and that was really important. If they'd lost out on that point, then Brutality Corps would have been able to set up a very good defense and really be able to pin down Exertus's tank. But it looks like they've been shut down eventually, so C is going to fall while Exertus are putting all their pressure on defending A, and this could be the opportunity that Brutality Corps need.
Yeah, it's looking that way at the moment, as you can see Lemoniacs in there, as well as Rickson. Oh, taking down two members of Exertus as they try to push in towards the C point, coming from the D point. But any minute now, the Exertus tank is going to pay a visit to the C point, and it looks to be that way. It is Deco DK. He's in there, and he looks to be trying to engage those guys, taking down one member of Brutality Corps. The RPGs go flying past, doing some damage. The tank now has to back off, and it looks like the Brutality Corps have defended that C point quite effectively and are now moving to try and recapture the D point. And let's wait and see how things turn out for them. Dogbert.
King Revo here is searching for a kill. I don't think he quite knows that a Brutality Corps member is right behind him. And they managed to exchange kills, so that's exactly what Exertus need right now, because it looks like they're putting the right amount of pressure onto A, so they're going to hold 3 flags here, possibly. Oh, as I say that goes completely against what I said. and Brutality Corps' infantry have managed to capture A. I'd like to bring attention really to DDK because Daiso DDK because he has just been manning this tank from the start of the game until now and hasn't lost his tank at all, hasn't lost the tank exchanges, and really has just been a massive thorn in the side of Brutality Corps.
It's looking that way. Now, obviously, we can move down the side here, so we can see it now looks like Deco's taking some fire from the helicopter. The helicopter looking the leopard color, leopard spotted helicopter, or the leopard camo, very similar to what you saw on World War II for the Luftwaffe. And you can see now Deco there popping out very quickly just to get a quick spot repair on his tank. And now looking to recapture that A point, get the bleed back onto the Chinese team with 53 tickets remaining for the Chinese team, 180 tickets for Exertus, looking pretty good as far as they're concerned. And a very dominant display from Exertus on this map thus far, wouldn't you say, Dogbert?
That's true, but Brutality Corps are starting to get back into this game now, and they're starting to do it in all the correct ways. Whenever Exertus have been putting too much effort to capture one flag, they've been spreading out. And that's exactly what they need to do, because they can't really sit here and go toe-to-toe, stand and bang with Exertus with this many tickets as a deficit. So they really need to get in there, play smart, don't engage unless they are sure they will win, and just let the ticket bleed do what they need and get back to an even footing with Exertus here.
I'm currently watching E-Man PL going toe-to-toe with Deco, and finally getting taken down, but he was trading blows with that tank pretty effectively to the point where they've now got 2 engineers in that tank. And so they actually basically had to hop out, get that tank repaired. So he did a wonderful job of just a single man holding up that tank at the B point, meaning that it couldn't actually push forward to the C point, which is now where Brutality Corps have actually got themselves a few men, engineers, and a tank moving up onto the point. Let's see who this is. This is Phantom taking a shot to the face, very nasty, in his lovely blue and painted ATV, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get back. Now this is an opportunity that Brutality Corps looking for. Rickson Sharp coming in against the Americans, and you can see there now, unfortunately, he has his rear facing to the tank. As you see them trying to get back onto the rear, and there we go, down goes the American tank, and Rickson Sharp also then taken down as well. But the thing that they're doing there is that they're keeping the attention focused by Exertus as Phantom gets taken down very quickly. And look at that, literally this one man, MWN, holding up almost 4 members, along with obviously Rickson coming in the tank, holding up members of Exertus to a point where they can't actually afford that. I mean, they've got 103 tickets, and now the bleed is quite seriously against them.
It is indeed. Unfortunately, Exertus have lost a player, but then again, so did Brutality Corps at the beginning of the game. I am questioning the use of a gunner in the chopper by Exertus here, especially at the point when they are desperately in need of getting as many people as they can on the flags. I don't think it's worth sacrificing an extra player in the gunner, especially when they're finding that Brutality Corps are all over them with infantry. They are attacking every flag they possibly can because they know at this point in the game, but it's not about winning the local battles. It's not about winning any big battles. It's about getting the flag and getting the bleed. And right now, they were behind almost 180 tickets. Now it's 75 to 40.
And
that is a huge reversal.
Look at A. A is about to go, possibly in the favour. We shall wait and see. No, it looks like possibly they're going to have it in the favour of Brutality Corps, and that would have been a full and total cap out against Exertus, and that was quite a surprise. But you can see Brutality Corps now holding that C point. There's nobody defending the C, nobody defending the D, nobody defending the E. Brutality Corps are up close, getting personal and getting into that A point and trying to hold Exertus back, as now it's 42 tickets, 41 tickets, 40. Look at that ticking over so fast, and the A point now in the process of being captured by another member of Brutality Corps, and this could be the death knell as far as Exertus are concerned, Dogbert.
It is indeed, and I think Brutality Corps' use of their chopper here is starting to pay dividends for them. Aussie here is basically flying the chopper by himself. He's never had a gunner, and whenever he does have a gunner, it's for the sole purpose of just dropping out onto a flag. At this point, Exertus really need to just drop in and get as many flags. They need to get the C flag, they need to get the B flag, and hold for dear life. But Brutality Corps are just all over them.
Yeah, not looking good at the moment as we're looking on Nightwayne as he moves his way up to put on the point. And 36 tickets, that was a turnaround as far as Brutality Corps were concerned. A great play by them, and a completely different strategy as far as they were concerned for against the Exertus. So Exertus, unfortunately, by the looks of it, what was the is that the first round? We've got another round to go, haven't we?
We will have another round to go, and they will switch sides, with Exertus playing the Chinese side. That was absolutely brilliant play by Brutality Corp, as they just managed to hang in there and get the flags they needed. And after that, when they got control of all 5 flags, really Exertus really struggled to get back into that game, and the ticket bleed absolutely wrecked them.
Yeah, that was quite an advantage they had. I think it was 150 or so tickets, I think it was at one point, down to about 40 in literally less than about 5 minutes. And that's how quickly this game can change. And obviously you need to be able to adapt to that particular outcome. And I mean, it's only 36 tickets now. Exertus will have to turn this around. Will they go for a single man in the helicopter, as Brutality Corps did previously? Or will they remain with the same strategy? What do they need to do to turn this around, Dogbert?
I think just getting more men firmly planted on the flag areas is going to be the order of the day for Exertus. They really found themselves short-handed quite a lot of the times when, unfortunately, Brutality just seemed to be all over them. They just were far more spread out. Now, at the beginning of the game, Exertus did a masterful job in the first few minutes, but when Brutality switched up their tactics and started spreading out a lot more, Exertus really struggled to respond.
Indeed they did. Indeed they did. So, let's see what happens on round number 2 between Exertus and Brutality Corps. The chopper is up. Two men in the Chinese chopper again. And it looks like they're actually doing...
Not anymore, because they're using them to drop out, which is exactly what they did in the last round. And it's the best way to use the chopper, to be honest. But it is definitely not how Brutality are going to be using their chopper, as it's just Aussie single manning it, Redux style from BF2, and he's just going to come in whenever needed, I think.
Indeed, yes. Now, obviously, I've seen that rather interesting and slightly amusing bug that you get. Every time you fire a TV missile, your poor passenger is essentially popped outside the cockpit. So it's getting a little bit cold out there for him. And it's good to see that the US jet is still active, as is the China jet. And it looks like the Chinese jet, there we go, the Chinese jet goes down. The pilot has to bail and then parachute down possibly onto one of the points. Maybe he can use this to his advantage. We'll have to wait and see. It is, of course, Mr. Nightwayne moving up to that point.
Exertus are doing exactly what they need to do here. They know that Brutality Corps tanker has just been called to support the defence of the flag at B, and what Exertus doing? They're attacking A and they're attacking C, and they're going to take both of these flags unless there is a very cool and lucky spawn in time, and there isn't. They're going to have to send their tank to A, but the infantry is not going to be enough at C to be able to stop this capture, so the ticket bleed is going to go in Exertus' favour and in the best position they can be right now with E, D and C.
Yeah, now obviously that tank is going to be moving into the A point. Coming in, let's see who that will be on the tank. As you can see, it's Rickson Sharps, of course. He's in there taking a little bit of fire, as now the guys who were taking the C point are engaging the tank with RPG fire. Devastating RPG fire. Rickson Sharps taking down one. More fire coming in, and the second one being taken down. Rickson Sharps managing to survive, and now using his tank to push in towards the C point. As a gunner is also in the position, and you can see those guys now spawning on the A point so they can actually get behind Rickson as he's moving in to try and take that C point. along with his lovely engineers in there to give them a little bit of repairing love and the odd spot weld here and there. TV missile! Right through the middle. And unfortunately
basically, wherever Brutality Corps stick their tank down in Rickson Shops, they win. He seems to just be a very dominant tanker. I mean, as soon as he got a hold of Dido DDK and he took him down, he was able to basically dictate everything from then on in. He hasn't gone down as of yet, and he seems to be the most dominant factor in the Brutality Corps lineup. Exertus so are doing what I said they needed to do, and they're spreading out and they're capturing the flags and letting the ticket bleed do the work for them. But unfortunately, Brutality Corps are well aware of this, and they are trying to do the same.
Yeah, definitely looking that way, as it looks like we're going to see Rickson versus Deco, as looks like Deco there coming in and unfortunately being taken down by a surprise. There we go, unfortunate ambush there onto Deco. He wasn't able to get very far. His tank is being mullered by the enemy. Oh no, he's had his tank nicked. Oh, Grand Theft tank just occurred, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like they're going to try and repair his tank to death, and the eventual death of Deco and E-Man PL. And now Rickson Sharp moves on.
If your tank gets stolen in this game, that is huge. Like, seriously, if that ever happened and they lost that tank, that would be game over. The other team would have to do everything in their power to bring down that tank. A tanker's main rule in Battlefield is to never get out of that tank. If it gets stolen, that is almost a GG.
Wow. So there you go. The rules of tanking 101 in competition: never get out. So, fortunately for Deco, he was able to actually kill one of his enemy, and the tank was still destroyed, so he didn't manage to lose the tank, which is a good thing. And now Deco's moving away on foot down towards the hospital, and he looks like he's going to also then run into one of his teammates, as we're looking at Phantom also moving in as well. Now, look at that ticket bleed, but A, B, C and D all being contested at this current moment. E not even being touched at the moment, Dogbert.
It's not at all. You're seeing a lot more considered effort by both teams to contest flags when they know there's going to be no one else there. There's a lot of players who are spreading out. Like, this jet is just took off here, and I thought he was going to do something along the lines of capturing a flag, but instead he's hunting down Exertus' chopper, I believe. But as I said, Rickson Sharp, yeah, wherever he seems to go, he seems to win, and he has just took the C flag, or he's going to be on looking to take the C flag. Yeah, they have. And really, Exertus is struggling here. They really need to find themselves a good footing, and they need to be harassing these back flags of B and A. Instead, they seem to be just caught up in little fights that they really should be ignoring.
So Deco is back into his tank and is pushing in against the inevitable bleed that has now occurred onto the Chinese flags, and you can see there D is flashing as well, and they need to get in there because there's not a lot of capping going on as far as China are concerned, and that bleed advantage that they had will not last much longer. And speaking of tanks, it looks like the American tanker, I'm guessing that is of course Rickson Sharp's, now moving back, and you can see I think the enemy tank has been spotted for him, and his now tank on tank action, Deco versus Recon. And unfortunately,
God, that was absolutely brilliant play by Brutality Corps, living up to their name as being absolutely brutal. There was an RPG shot in the side, in the rear, and a tank shot right in the turret. I mean, that was an insta-kill as soon as he even attempted to get onto the B flag. Exertus here, using that lull and sacrificing their tank for a major push onto C, but you see, Brutality Corps are reacting according to plan. If someone throws in that many players into a flag and that much into attack, just send one guy to capture another, and that's what they're doing. E is about to go down, and the ticket bleed is not going to be stopped.
Yeah, not a good situation. You can see, obviously, we're looking at Exertus trying to hold that C point. You do have the flag being investigated, and obviously a little bit of tanky goodness coming on from Rickson Sharps. Like you said, he's proven himself to be a very dominant force on this battlefield. And looks like Barthez has got to watch out. He went in for the quick kill. Now, would it have been smarter for him to have actually stayed there and wait for reinforcements to try and take out that tank? Because at this current moment, as you said before, nobody's really denying that tank to Rickson. Now, could that be something that Exertus maybe need to focus on? Basically, denying Rickson this tank could deny them the armoured pushes that they require in order to hold this map for them.
There really needs to be more of an effort to shut down that tank, because right now Rickson Sharps is causing them so many issues. But at the same time, I'm looking at Exertus and they're spreading out perfectly here to try and cause some issues. But the problem is, wherever Rickson Sharps is going to go with that tank, he's going to cause them a lot of problems unless they want to spawn in a significant amount of infantry. So right now, I would say Exertus really need to get their tank on the field, and they need to get rid of Rickson Sharps, and they need to get rid of them quickly.
Now, that definitely seems to be the case, as obviously you're seeing the action going on around the A point in the process of being captured, the C and D, and you can now see that there's 161 tickets to 128 in favour, oh dear, bit of a team kill there, very unfortunate. And now you can see the A point continuing to be contested by the Chinese team, and we can also see over here another member of Brutality Corps is the Quaker, and he is moving in to try and see if he can take down any members of Exertus. There we go, takes down one. That was Barthez 300, and now he's going to be moving in as one of his other teammates comes in to support him from the other direction. And now you can see the flags being contested in multiple locations.
It all comes down to this attack at sea. If Exertus can get a good foothold here and win, they'll be able to keep this ticket bleed from going way beyond their control. And it all comes down to this, basically.
Yeah, now the thing is, you can see there, you've got a few members, but what I'm waiting for is the inevitable arrival of the tank. There we go. We've got one tank coming in from Deco. Where is the other tank? Where is the American tank? He must have been taken down recently, which is why you can see no armour pushing in on that C point. This is, I would say, Exertus' chance to actually push that advantage of not having that tanker around to actually give them any kind of problems. And if they can just do plain infantry combat and hold that C point against all the oncomers. But now you've obviously got firing from long distance. Oh! Did you see that? The enemy chopper against Exertus, as it was taking fire, as the guys were taking fire on the C point, got absolutely mullered by a missile and blown to smithereens. So we are now looking.
Played brilliant there. I don't know if you noticed, but Phantom and Barthez both detect B, while the tanker and the rest of the infantry were putting their pressure onto C. This spread Brutality quite thin, and they had to react to both. Instead of just deciding to take one or the other, they tried to get both and lost at both. Now they're trying to just spread out and get that ticket bleed off them. But yeah, very well played by Exertus. They did exactly what they needed to.
Yes, indeed they did. Now, I noticed Rickson Sharp is back up in the tank. Now, I have to say that was good play there by Exertus to make the most of that lull that was available to them with Rickson Sharp not being around in the tank. So Exertus did the right thing as far as you can see. And now we've got the likes of Bigglesworth, and they are engaging that E point to try and ensure that the bleed stays on them. But you have members of Brutality Corps at D, at C. A is in their hold, B is in their hold, and they really need to turn this around quickly, because then the bleed is going to be back onto the Exertus squad. And you can see Nightwane has just returned, as he had been disconnected, so that might have been what they were waiting for. But the question is whether or not Deco and friends, as he coming in with a tank, King Revo being taken down, Wilda Aussie also being taken down. We've got to find out what's going on. Where is the enemy tank? The enemy tank looks... I'm not seeing the enemy tank for the Americans anywhere. I'm wondering if he's been finished off recently. That could indicate a change in approach by Exertus to focus their attention onto the enemy tanker, Dogbert.
I think that they are working out very quickly that they need to deny Rickson Sharp that tank, and it is paying off for them quite well. unfortunately for Exertus, they do not seem to be getting a good grip on all these flags. What's happening here is Brutality Corps are using players to deny the flag. They don't mind sometimes if the if Exertus gets in there and is got it grayed out so no one owns it. As soon as they leave the flag thinking no one's there, they just come back in full force and take it. So you're going to have to see exactly how Exertus are going to respond, because right now they are very, very close to going out of the tournament. There is a 36 ticket advantage to Brutality Corps here. So Exertus are going to have to stop the bleed as quick as possible, otherwise they're going to find themselves out of this test cup.
Definitely. Now, one thing I just did notice is combined fire by Brutality Corps and the TV missile from their helicopter took down the tanker for Exertus, and that's going to be a serious problem. However, we're looking at Kotko at the moment. He's in with the helicopter, doing some offensive helicopter work onto those points, and looks like he's marking the E point as the point of reference. So you can see now lots of fire going on, and looks like Decode now trying to capture that other point as the bleed is back onto the Chinese team. These guys need to turn it around. Now I notice here, can you see this? You've got Rickson Sharp at B, you've got Bigglesworth at C, you've got another member Deco at D, and you've also got E being contested at the same time as well. Phantom unfortunately being shut down, and it looks like the E point will remain in the ownership of the United States team. But you can also see then that Nightwayne is in there as well. At the same time, whoops-a-daisy, there's a bad landing there, and you can see that that point is being held, and now you can see the points actually starting to switch over, and this could be the change that Brutality Corps are not looking forward for.
For Exertus, they need to get that bleed stopped as soon as they can, otherwise they're in deep trouble. And they've got a hold of C, D and A, and they're going to need to hold it. But more importantly, they're going to have to hold it without taking too many casualties. We're talking of 4 tickets in it, less than 4 tickets, 3 tickets in it. They need to do something crazy here. They need to be so defensive while not losing flags. They're 2 tickets away. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think Brutality Corps are going to walk through, and here we go. If any ticket drops now, it is over. Will they be able to hold on? They're playing, they're hiding back, they've got the flags, and there we go. Brutality Corps take it. Oh my god, they held on so well. They got the flags they needed, but it's just too little, too late, and it's just unfortunate for the Exertus lineup, finding themselves taken out of a second test cup in only a week.
Yeah, very unfortunate for the guys, and you can see obviously that wasn't for the want of trying. A great comeback, and certainly shows that Exertus learned from their mistakes in the previous round and were able to then capitalise on what they learnt from that to their advantage and actually turn it around and give Brutality Corps, oh dear, a little bit more of a battle than they had in the previous round. So you can see now, look at the ticket numbers starting to even up, but as you said, much too late unfortunately. Don't think it's going to be enough, and now we're looking at a situation where you can see Kotko in there as well. Looks like he's in with his law and will be ready to defend it as quickly as possible or defend that point. The C point in the process of staying defended, the D point being attacked by a combination of Brutality Corps and also Exertus. Phantom being taken down as we go through the smoke. King Revo also being finished off by Lemniacs. And you can see yet more fire going on between these two teams as more fire coming in from the American chopper. 14 tickets to 30. Definitely not going to be enough, as you said before. But very, very close indeed. And a good game overall, wouldn't you say, Dogbert?
I think they've done very well. I think Exertus really could have locked down the map better on the first round. They had Brutality Corps in a really sticky situation, and unfortunately they weren't able to keep a lid on this Polish team, and they paid for it.
Yes, indeed they did. Indeed they did. So we shall find out what is coming next. I think that was the last one for this evening, wasn't it?
That was the last one. So Brutality Corps win with 36-24.
Wow, that was close. That was close indeed, but good to see that Exertus learned from their mistakes in the first round, brought it back, and made it a much closer game in the second round. So unfortunately, well, as you said, too little, too late, but all part of the learning process. This is a test cup, and a definite shout out goes to Rickson Sharp for his devastating use of the tank. He, as you said, he proved himself a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield.
Also, Aussie as well being able to single man the chopper for a good part of the time, a good part of the air battles, which led to more feet on the ground, and I think that also gave a good edge to the Polish team.
Nice, very nice indeed. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for the 8v8 Conquest for today. We will be bringing you more, I do believe, next Tuesday, isn't it?
I believe it is on Tuesday, yes.
Indeed. So we'll be back with more of that. In the meantime, obviously, don't forget to check the ESL portal for all your Battlefield news relating to the ESL and keep up to date on that, as there will be plenty more cups coming, plenty more test cups, and of course, make your voice known on the ESL forums as to the formats, any feedback you have relating to the casting, relating to the competition, all that kind of stuff, all very welcome on the forums. So make your voice known and make your voice heard, as we will need you obviously to help us work on this competitive side of Battlefield 4, which is a fantastic thing to see, and I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Any last words, Mr. Dogbert?
Not at all. This is probably the first time I've actually watched an 8v8 game, except from back in maybe 2142, but let's never mention that game again. Back in BF2 maybe, I think the last one would have been maybe the world final of the BF2 competition between Exit 11 and Code 7. It's really nice to be able to watch 8v8 again. I think maybe the only thing that I would have to say is maybe the maps are a little bit too big, and I will forever ever be crying out that we lost something special when we didn't have a full capture anymore. I think if you, especially like we've seen today when there were teams very far behind, if they had the ability to go out and full cap an opponent, you would have looked for a very, very exciting game.
Indeed, indeed you would. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. We appreciate you taking the time to join us, and we shall be bringing you more Battlefield 4. Don't forget to keep your eyes peeled. I will be tweeting out when we go live, and there is a lot more Battlefield 4 competitive play coming your way from all sorts of places. So, you guys are in for a treat. We'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.